Now, I wouldn't call myself an amiibo collector. Figurines and limited run knickknacks have never been my thing. However, there's always exceptions, like the adorable Yarn Yoshi amiibo. In 2020, it felt like anytime I was in a Target or Best Buy or GameStop, I saw one or two or three of these little guys hanging on a rack looking back at me. And like with almost anything Nintendo related, I have good reason to suspect this won't be the case in coming years. I won't be seeing these amiibo on any store racks. I'll only be able to find them on eBay at a ridiculous markup. So with that intuition, I scooped up all three amiibo, the pink, the blue, and the green. Now, these amiibo first released in 2015 alongside Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U, but I figure they've stayed somewhat relevant and in stock at retail stores because Woolly World got a 3DS port in 2017 and then got a full-fledged sequel in Crafted World on the Switch in 2019. Plus, these amiibo do work with most first-party amiibo-friendly Nintendo titles. The redeemable in-game rewards aren't anything too crazy, some items here or cosmetics there, but you don't buy a Yarn Yoshi amiibo for its in-game functionality. You buy one or three of these little guys because they're so cute and charming. You can put them on a desk or a bookshelf or even hang them as a tree ornament thanks to the little ribbon loop they have. I think the real appeal here is that they're softer yet bulkier than the average amiibo, and that's because they're made with real yarn. I've never been into the plasticky feel and sheen with most miniatures or figures, so that's why I like these amiibo so much. They're really one of a kind. And in my mind, this is fitting, because Yoshi games have always been some of Nintendo's most creative and purely artistic efforts. When I think of Yoshi games, with just a few exceptions, I think art. I think of beautifully hand-drawn or handcrafted elements. Yoshi's Island, the 1995 sequel to Super Mario World on the SNES, was the first game I ever saw that made me stop and realize, wow, real artists actually drew and designed this stuff, all the elements of each platforming level. Everywhere you look in Yoshi's Island, there's pops of colors and pen stroke level detail. For a video game, it has less of a computer's touch and more of a human touch. And that's so cool to me as a creative person. The game feels like a storybook, always unfolding, always moving, always engaging my eyes. Its art direction has aged really well. And while this game set our expectations for Yoshi titles moving forward, admittedly not every subsequent game has delivered. I enjoy Yoshi's Island DS, but I can take or leave Yoshi's Story on the Nintendo 64 and Yoshi's New Island on the 3DS. I really think it wasn't until 2015, 20 years after the original Yoshi's Island, that the promise of that game was truly fulfilled with Woolly World. Ever since then, developer Goodfeel, in my opinion, has been a great steward of this series and mascot character. Now, people who appreciate Yoshi games appreciate Yoshi games, but for outsiders or newcomers to the series, it sometimes surprises me how people expect Yoshi to be something other than what it is, which is unique. I don't know, maybe some people expect the speed of Super Meat Boy or Rayman Legends, the difficulty of Donkey Kong Country or Crash Bandicoot. You see, Yoshi is its own thing. These games aren't supposed to be super fast or punishingly difficult. They're meant to be enjoyable. They're slower paced, highly artistic platformers. And the best games in the series also have a wonderful sense of humor and offer very fun co-op play experiences. These reasons are why I'm so happy to see Crafted World on the Switch. I have to say, in the last couple years, I've largely felt that Nintendo has been doing the bare minimum to satisfy its customers. A lot of Nintendo franchises like Pikmin and Donkey Kong haven't seen a new entry in almost a decade, and other franchises have fallen totally dormant, like F-Zero and Wario Land. Even bestsellers since 2017 like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario Odyssey, and Super Mario Party haven't been supported with DLC. This behavior always worries me. For reasons I cannot fathom, sequels and support for beloved Nintendo games and series are just not guaranteed, so the fact that Nintendo tapped Goodfeel in the first place to develop an original Yoshi game for the Switch, I don't know, it's a good thing in my book. It could have easily not happened, especially because Yoshi games don't sell like mainline Mario and Zelda games do. And while I doubt we see another new Yoshi title on the Switch, I don't want to go a decade without another one of these games. And that's probably part of the reason why I couldn't help but scoop up these adorable amiibo. Maybe subconsciously it was like I was casting a vote or something. And one last comment on this topic. Earlier this month, news broke that Nintendo had entered into an agreement to purchase affiliate studio Next Level Games, the developer of a number of really solid Nintendo titles, most recently Luigi's Mansion 3. So I thought that was encouraging to see Nintendo taking ownership of one of its few but extremely talented affiliate studios, much like it did years ago with Retro Studios. And I'd love to see the same with Goodfeel. This is a talented Japanese studio, and I felt like it's been their task over the last decade or so to show love to some truly fan-favorite but often overlooked series. Goodfeel did Wario Land Shake It on the Wii back in 2008, and sadly we haven't gotten another Wario Land game since. They also developed Woolly World's spiritual predecessor Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Wii in 2010, as well as its curiously late 3DS port in 2019. They've also had a hand in Wii Play, Street Pass Me Plaza, and Mario & Luigi Dream Team. This is a good studio. Their games always feel top-notch, lovingly crafted, and I think they could do so much more if they were fully integrated into Nintendo's corporate structure. Imagine if Nintendo gave Goodfeel more money and resources and allowed them to go wild. Imagine if they even split into multiple teams and were simultaneously tackling new entries for Wario Land or Kirby or Yoshi. So that's just my 2 cents, but I'm hoping this Next Level acquisition is a sign of good things to come. A sign that eventually we could get more quality games in the series we love in shorter spans of time. Plain and simple. So all in all, this is a pretty simple unboxing, but I did want to show some love to Yoshi, my favorite green dinosaur, maybe my single favorite Nintendo character. I bought each of these Yoshi amiibo for $12.99, so you might want to consider doing the same if you don't have them already. And if you haven't played Woolly World or Crafted World or even the original Yoshi's Island, check those games out. This is a great series of unique and imaginative platformers. For me, these games simply scratch an itch that no other platformers do.